Hello. I'm gonna start these YouTube videos anonymous because these videos I'm gonna go into some personal stuff I feel like I need to get off my chest because of recent last couple of years throughout my entire adult life I've been struggling with depression, and today is one of those days where I'm having a depressive episode and I don't really know what to do. So I thought I'd try YouTube to speak my mind, get things off my chest. And one of the reasons I'm doing it because I've been coming across YouTube videos of other people who go through similar to what I do. Real life people with real life struggles, and I feel like those type of videos are becoming popular. Except the show the face. At the minute, I'm not confident enough to do that because I'm going to go into some really personal stuff. So, yeah. So, the main topic is I think it's through Aspergers. I got diagnosed with Aspergers when I was 6, and it's some of that's probably impacted my life a lot. And with Asperger's, I've always seen it as a negative, but there's a lot of people around that says no, it's a gift. I don't know how I feel about that because if it's a gift, why am I not successful in areas like what my skill sets are? Because I'm not. If anything, I'm one of the people that probably sees it more as a curse. And another reason is I've always been embarrassed to have Asperger's. As of getting older, I don't think it's really anything to be embarrassed about, but because I probably know much more about it than I used to, I just think I don't share with people that I've got Asperger's because I think it's misunderstood. Whereas, by the way, with these videos, I'm going to go say what I think, so it might go into stuff where it might offend people because this sort of content is where I say it as it is because I'm at that point these days I don't really care. So, yeah, I don't think it's something I really should be embarrassed about. It's misunderstood. I think if you got some sort of Asperger's, some people might just be completely ignorant about it and just think, yeah, you're a fucking retard or something. Whereas I don't really think that's really the case. Yeah, you got struggles, you got your problems, but I just think it's just one of them that I like to keep it personal because it should be personal. Asperger's don't define me because I might as well get it fucking tattooed on my head. But yeah, I think I don't know really know where this video is going to go, but I think I'm probably going to talk about like Asperger's, employment, struggles with life. So yeah, I got diagnosed with Asperger's at the age of 6, according to my mum, I weren't really one of those kids where it was that noticeable as a baby. I started talking at a normal age, probably around 1 or 2, I think. Uh, Never really showed any signs until the experts get involved when you fucking start nursery. And I think that's when the experts think, this guy might be autistic, he might have Asperger's, and don't know, so that did things like I lined things up or just stuff like that, or I was socially inept, I don't fucking know. I do remember when starting reception, I used to not talk to anyone and just walk around the playground in circles because I didn't know what else to do, and I think that caused trigger warnings with the teachers, fucking showing signs, oh, I might be autistic, I might have Asperger's. I'm going to call it Asperger's because that's what I was diagnosed with. I think these days it's more like in line with, they just say it's autism or high functioning autism because they avoid the Asperger's thing because he was a Nazi, but this channel's not about getting politically correct, so I don't really care about that kind of stuff. I'll say it all it is, but yeah, I'm losing track what I'm talking about at the minute, but yeah. So yeah, and it's not been easy. I started primary school relatively independent, got tucked to one side sometimes to have one-to-one sessions with tutors. I think there was another guy who was neurodivergent in ways I don't really know what he had, but I think he might have been autistic as well. Then he moved to Australia, and I was officially the odd one out in the school then. And after a while, once you get to the junior bit of primary school, things started changing. I was a relatively independent kid doing his own work with the odd help, to the point where I started having regular assisting someone sat next to me, and I was never happy with that. A lot of like the autistic kids got on with that with me. It just didn't suit me. I thought when you're at a mainstream school and you're at the odd one out with someone fucking sat next to you all the fucking time, perfect recipe for bullying, and that's fucking ruined my confidence. But and I don't think I've ever recovered from that to this day, and that's continued throughout my whole main educational life up until about the age of 18, where I can I can have a say whether I want that or not. But until then, I don't really have a say. So yeah, that might be something to talk about for another video. But yeah, education when it comes to high school and primary school, never had the easiest times. I was dumped in bottom set a lot. Don't really know if it was because I was thick or I was made to feel like I was thick because I had a label. I had Asperger's, and now I've got it in my records that I get extra help for that. So that's ruined my confidence. Uh, so yeah, I was made to feel like I was dumb. I don't know if I was dumb, but I think the main thing I struggled with at school was that I was switched off. A lot of things went over my head, but in that with most fucking students, I don't know. So I was never happy about that. Until I went to college, I did more of a creative degree because I was told I was never really good at anything else other than drawing. I was one of them. I was good at drawing. I probably spent more time doodling in my fucking sketchbooks than doing actual work. So I did an art course at college. I had to do 4 years there, where it's probably typically 3 or 2 years because I didn't really do well academically. I didn't really do well in my GCSEs, but I think I got 1 or 2 GCSEs where there's fucking people with 0 GCSEs but no fucking label that managed to do 3 years of fucking of college. So I kind of believe I was dumped in there because I had a label, which again I just weren't happy about. So yeah, I managed to stick through college, and I didn't like it. I thought it was rubbish. I think looking back now, it turned out to be a waste of time. Social life wasn't good there. Don't know if it was me being socially inept, because Aspergers is stereotypical. Oh, you can't socialise, but I don't think that was the case. I could socialise. I probably picked up social cues better than most of my peers who had autism in a way, even though I still experienced levels of bullying. So yeah, I stuck through college because I didn't really have anything else going for me. Didn't really fancy getting a job. I don't think I was really taught properly about the real world at all by my teachers or my parents, to the point where I'm living in the real world and think it's a massive wake up call. But I'll get into that in later on or in another video, depending on where it goes. So I managed to get through college by some miracle, show little to no interest the first 3 years until my last year there, where my mum got ill because I've had a period where my mum has suffered from mental illness, which has probably not helped with the way I function, my cognitive skills, my mental health, any of that. So I could put into their circumstances rather than cognitive ability. So I worked my arse off in my last year of college to the point where I got the grades to get into university. I originally weren't planning on going to university because I just hated education. It worked for me, but I didn't think the world of work, coming from a working class family, there's not much option other than, you know, working a boring job, and that didn't suit me. And I was the art student, and back then I was living in my own bubble. I weren't interested in the real world, normal stuff. I was doing art. I was looking up to people like, I don't know, Banksy, rebellious figures, rebelling against the system. I didn't have a fucking clue how to live in the real world. I was very probably left leaning back then, probably not anymore, but and I just didn't have a clue how to live in the real world. So yeah, I get into university thinking I'd probably end up being a graphic designer because that was probably the most normal thing I wanted to do back then. Other than that, I just wanted to be a street artist, but that's not really how the world works. So yeah, I get into uni. Didn't really fancy doing graphic design. Thought about doing illustration. I was looking at illustration and animation courses mainly. Should have done an illustration course, nearly did, but I didn't quite like the university I was looking at because I don't. It was one of them where it was not a proper university; it was just a university college. So I thought I'd rather go to a proper university. So I ended up changing my mind, but the only course I picked was animation, and I've not done animation before. It was a bit out of my comfort zone. But one positive is that I've probably learnt skills I never would have done if I'd just done illustration because I probably would have stayed safe doing that. So yeah, I ended up doing an animation course coming in like a rabbit in headlights, not knowing what to do basically. And yeah, I didn't. I was a small fish in a big pond. I didn't have a fucking clue what I was doing originally. I learnt skills in animation, basic 2D animation. Don't know if I'm good enough to work professionally in the industry. If I did, or if I had the interest in it, I'd have to do another sort of course or learn skills even further down the line. But yeah, I did animation, got a pretty good degree. I got a second class degree, which is like the highest degree you could get, which is probably the most successful I've been in anything really. But after uni, you're in the real world. Now what? I'm sorry. It was during the time when COVID just started, but I'm not going to use COVID as an excuse. So I was in the real world, unemployed, didn't really know where to turn, didn't really fancy doing a lot of things. Emailed a couple of people about odd jobs here and there. Probably could have done stuff like an internship, but I don't know. Maybe the COVID thing didn't help. And 4 or 5 years out of uni, I've kind of been unemployed ever since, and or pretty much. I've had odd smaller jobs since then, but I'll get in that to that later. Where it's nothing to do with pursuing my degree, and I wouldn't even call it a proper job. So I was unemployed for 2 years after uni. Didn't know what to do. Went through the mental health route, saying I was depressed because I clearly was depressed. So I told my parents I was depressed and I need some help. Went to the doctors, shoved me on a load of fucking tablets, and that's it. Didn't really know what else to do. Tried God counselling, nothing was working. So yeah, spent 2 years doing all that shit, and it got me nowhere. If anything, I got worse because 2 years out of uni, I went through a blip. I went through mental health. I went through a mental breakdown. So yeah, I had a period where I was getting stuff in the head. I was getting into the conspiracy theory shit and thinking people were in on it because I was struggling with loneliness. Things got to my head. I was thinking people were watching me through my laptop and the TV screen. My dad was setting up military fucking equipment around through his connections with his mates, just mad shit like that. And was went 2 months going through a massive rampage until I ended up getting arrested and sectioned. So I ended up getting sectioned for 3 months. Ended up getting a bit better after that, but it lent me to being kicked out of the house. Ended up in supported living, which kind of been helped me a lot recently, but it's not the life I wanted. I currently in supported living, getting 16-hour support, living off benefits, just for the reason, just for the sake of keeping a roof over my head and money coming in. But it's not the life I wanted. I feel like I've worked so hard in higher education just for nothing, and that's why I've gotten depressed. 5 years down the line, I'm leaving uni and nothing, knowing at best after leaving hospital, getting ill, I thought that was a bit of a kick up the arse. Thought, right, I'll look, I need to find a job, until like support workers grounding me down to earth, explaining, oh, yeah, but if you do that, it'll mess your benefits up and you'll lose your house. And I don't think a life of being homeless suits me at all, really. So I thought, I need to do something. I can't just go the way I'm going. I ended up getting a voluntary job at Oxfam. Did that for like a year and 4 months. Worked a bad job. I weren't paid. Weren't really getting in. I don't think it's anything I can put towards my pension. Got another job working in a line that I'm more interested in the creative arts, working in theatre. But it's just, so at the minute it's front of house. It's not bad, pretty boring job, but I don't know if it's worth doing forever, and unless it leads to something, and as long as I'm not getting paid, I don't think I'll be doing it forever. I think unemployment, Aspergers is something to talk about more down the line, but yeah, I'm in a situation where I feel stuck. I don't really know what to do. I think the system feels like it's completely rigged against me. And a reason to why I'm making this type of video, that people are making videos of similar, saying they're fed up with the world, they're fed up with the system, especially with England and the government and the riots. Everyone's fed up. I think everyone's waking up to how fucking bad this fucking world is. And I think this year, that's I've come to the point where I do think I live in a fucking shit world. I don't think the world was good anyway, but I think this year is a massive wake up call to how fucking shit this world is. And yeah, I think maybe employment is something I talk about in another video, but yeah, I just think I'm stuck. I don't really know what to do. I have ambitions, I have goals. Do I understand a lot more how the world works to what I did before I got ill, before I moved out. I'm still relatively independent, but it's not the life I wanted. Uh, I don't know if I'm going to say any more at this stage, but I think because I'm not confident with videos, I'm just rambling on, I think, at the minute. Don't know if it'll get me anywhere making these videos, but yeah, I'm just, yeah, I've got ambitions. I want to leave the country, but I realise now like, it's probably a lot harder than I thought it was because I don't like England. I think a lot of people this year realise England's not a good place anymore. There's a lot worse places like some sweaty fucking country in the Middle East, but I don't want to be here anymore. I just want to fuck off to New Zealand, but to do that you need skills, and I've never even worked a proper job in my fucking life. Yeah, I've done voluntary. I feel like I'm trying my best, but we live in an apathetic, thankless fucking world where you can try as much as you want, but you get nowhere. It's based on luck. So yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna say any more at this stage. I might say something later down the line, but yeah, I think that's all I've got to say for now. So yeah, hope I don't know if it'll get me anywhere this video, but yeah, catch you in another video maybe.